All right. I think we're live.
Working by.
I think so. And showing 0 viewers. Might be a delay. Yeah, seems to be good. What's up?
Guys, we're here in Alberta in an undisclosed location for King of 2 Miles, Canada. Yeah.
I might have put Hannah on the fucking thing.
Did you?
Somewhere in the greater Hannah area.
Greater Hannah area, yeah.
So good luck trying to find it. We had a hell of a time
kidding.
trying to find it.
Yeah.
No, it was
Had to ask 17 farmers and 30 cows.
Yeah. Got more answers out of the cows than we did the farmers.
That's right, yeah. Y'all ain't from around here, are you?
Yeah, we were talking about this for a while, and we figured we'd come up and see it. And
absolutely.
Kind of cover it. We got a lot of content the last few days. And
it's a good opportunity to come and grab some stuff like this. I don't know how much of this has really been done before. In Canada, at least, right?
Well, this King of 2 Miles has never been
right. Inaugural King of 2 Miles, Canada.
Yeah, yeah.
And what more fitting place than Western Canada?
The fucking
Luke.
Yeah. No, not sorry, Luke.
No, not sorry one bit.
Well, you couldn't do it out there. There's no,
not enough. Well, you know,
I guess if you get into some of the hills or mountains or something, and maybe go in an elevation, But this is perfect. The Badlands is just, it was picturesque, like, It
was good. I even said to Furlong the other day, what better place than Western Canada? And he's from
Nova Scotia. Yeah.
And he goes, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There weren't as many shooters as we expected.
No. What is there, a total of
18 teams, I think. So 20, what is that? Times 2, 36.
Yeah.
Right? So 36 different shooters. And then how it works is you sign up you sign up individually, but you have to have a spotter.
Right.
And generally, all of them were.
All of them. Yeah.
One guy shot the first day.
Yeah.
And then the other guy shot the second day.
Yeah.
And nobody can spot twice,
right.
I think.
And shooter spotter teams can't shoot back to back. The first shooter does his thing,
and then they can't go after.
Yeah,
you can't even go the same day. The rules were that restriction. Right? Well,
okay,
because what they were originally going to do was, first guy shoots, or first team shoots, or first half shoots.
Yeah.
And then in the afternoon, they were going to have the second day match because we're supposed to get some shit weather tomorrow, and it's actually just starting kind of right now.
A little spitting a little bit.
Windier than a popcorn fart today.
It's it's not nice.
Well, right now.
Well, this morning for a second day event was good.
Yeah, ideal conditions too.
But then about 3:00 this afternoon? Or
yeah, we were sitting around having a drink and it just started
yawning on the camper here. Started.
EM really Precision Shane Monster started telling us stories and the wind picked up.
yeah. Real severe, real acute hot weather pattern right in one spot.
Right.
Hot air.
Funny how that happened right in front of the camera.
Right.
Yeah. But no, so it was shit conditions. But the rules for King of 2 Miles, like, you have to go multiple days. It's a 3-day event. And you can't, part of the matches, or part of it could potentially be an advantage or disadvantage to go the next day, or because you're still going to have that back and forth between your team, right? And then so whoever shoots first is kind of at a disadvantage, I think, maybe. And then the second day, I don't know.
How do you mean?
Well, like whoever shoots first is seeing the conditions. And then if the conditions are a little different the next day, I guess it doesn't matter. But
right. But that morning versus afternoon shooting, there's a distinct advantage in the morning because the conditions are typically calmer.
Yeah.
The sun's not up. There's that that phenomenon we talked about before about sun's up, sights up, right? There's that image above the actual target. When that target is really shining bright. Yeah. Same with Mirage too.
Well, the Mirage was brutal that first day.
Yeah.
Yesterday was out of 18 teams, I think 18 shooters the first day, right?
Was it? I want to say I thought Shane was 26 is what he said. He was dead last.
But the first day.
Right.
Jens, how many shooters were there? No idea. Okay.
I thought there were.
Well, we were done. We started shooting at 9, and the day was over at 12. So it wasn't that long.
Right. But that was half the shooters.
Yeah, half.
So we went through 13 teams.
Oh yeah, that's right too.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
And then day 2, which was today, we went through the next 13.
Yeah,
I'm sure
that's right. That's right too.
Shane shot dead last.
Yeah, and did pretty good
today.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and he did pretty good.
Yeah, really good. Both guys. So Shane ended up in 3rd place in the qualifying, and Steve ended up in 5th place. So and they're the only team that both shooters qualified to go to the final. So that's pretty impressive.
That's cool.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
both good shooters, both good. Both outfitted with good rifles. Definitely. From EM Precision.
Definitely.
Yeah. So,
but
that's good.
And then after Rob and Maury at the end of the first day there.
Yeah, that was good.
Given just a little bit of hit, it was pretty good.
It was good, yeah. Good solid advice too. It wasn't one of these competitions where okay, you're out on your own, you guys know what you're doing, and you go only by that, and we leave things alone until the 2nd day, 3rd day, ever.
Yeah.
They actually gathered guys around, and this is what we saw this day with shooters and spotters.
Yeah.
Bold calls versus conservative wind calls, things like that. Guys tighten things up, and they gave some advice, all that kind of stuff to try and help guys improve. Right.
Yeah.
And so that was
it's actually kind of eerie when they're shooting, because we're getting footage for you guys, and I got to edit it all up. We got a lot of footage, but just sitting in there. So there's 2 spotters, and then there's a table in the middle of them, and the bell in the middle of them, and then 2 spotting scopes in front of them, and then the shooters are to the left of them, and they're shooting, and the only sounds you hear are obviously the gun going off, and then the communication between the 2. Everything else is dead. So it was like a golf
and then
game.
If there's a hit, all that silence, all of a sudden, ding, like the front desk at the hotel.
Because you can't hear the impact.
No,
right? So it's bing.
Well, the impact is 1,900 meters away.
Yeah, it's like
we're gonna hear that, right? Yeah. In a 12-mile-an-hour wind.
What kind of surprised me about this match was I was more expecting a lot of prototypical competitors coming up to this. Yeah, and there wasn't a lot of that. There was a few, but a lot of guys that have never competed before,
right?
But have taken courses with Rob Furlong's Marksmanship Academy,
right?
And even one guy was saying he borrowed a rifle for this and an optic. And wow.
And the story behind that, though, the borrowed rifles, it quite commonly is because the OIC
band 50s, and
right? So the 50s, the 416s, all that stuff that's over 10,000 joules, including some 375s,
416s.
So the guys that had the 416s and 375s and the 50s to really compete in the 2 mile stuff,
like the guys in the States,
use them. Right? Well, there's another story yet with the guys in the States, but some of the guys here had those bigger rifles and banned from using them in this competition. So they had to borrow rifles. And then there were a bunch of Americans that were supposed to come up to this too. And so with COVID, they couldn't come up because nobody was willing to quarantine for 2 weeks once they got back home. Plus, there's no I shouldn't say there's no restrictions like California's ban 50s as well, but
but you'll see guys from Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and that sort of thing that would come up. And
the 375 Enabler is another one that has grown in popularity down there, and that can get over 10,000 joules, so that's not allowed here. So
there was a lot of guys kind of cobbling together stuff and showing up. Like even Steve, he's shooting a 338 snipe tack.
Right.
That's
he's edgy with that rule, right? He's
Well, let's talk about Steve's build a little bit, because I saw that thing and the barrel looks like my arm, like extended. Like, what does that thing weigh?
What do you say? 36 pounds.
Whoa.
36 pounds. It's an XLR chassis.
Yeah. KRG or KRS barrel, or what barrel was it?
it's a KS barrel.
KS barrel, sorry.
In Edmonton there.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the hell. I think it's 1.4 is what it starts out at the shank, or just ahead of the action, right? 1.4 inches, which typically, like an MTU, starts out at an inch and a quarter, 1.25. Yeah. So he's got another 150 thou on top of that diameter, and he's got slight taper, but very, very little taper all the way out to 36 inches. And then he's got a 5 gill break.
Yeah.
Beyond that.
Yeah.
So that sucker needs wheels, man.
Well, in Yen's here, he's like, it looks like a baby arm. I'm like, fuck that. It looks like my arm.
Right. Maybe your arm when you were a baby.
Yeah, exactly. But still. Funny. But no, like, it's a lot of KDEX out here.
Yeah.
A lot of KDEX.
Absolutely.
Well,
I think that's influenced by Rob Furlong for sure. Yeah. You betcha. And, stepping back a little bit, you're talking about new shooters and stuff. And you know what? There was a lot of missing going on yesterday and today. Today was better.
Yeah.
But it kind of speaks to the abilities of the shooters that are coming out, even if they are new, and B, to the instruction that they've received lately. Like Furlong's doing level 2 and 3 here right away. Level 3 is coming up this week, I think.
Okay.
For Rob's camp, and for guys that are just starting out shooting this long stuff, and they take a poke at this King of 2 miles because it's here. There's an opportunity. It's a wide open. It's not an invitation thing or anything like that. Come on out and shoot. You pay your fee and shoot.
Yeah.
And they're not missing by much. You listen to those spotters after every team goes through, and they'll kind of debrief them a little bit and tell them, you weren't far off at all.
But it's so hard to see your splash and to make corrections on, especially with that Mirage, that first thing.
But you listen to those spotters, those guys on Furlong's team. They can see all of that shit, and my God, is that impressive. The shooter spotter teams were having trouble picking up swirl and impacts, ground impacts and stuff like that to make corrections to get onto target. But the Furlong team spotters were there. They were seeing everything, and they're and that is an art that is tough to perfect. We've seen some of that, quite a lot of it, but to watch that thing go all the way into target is voodoo.
It's a skill. It's
voodoo, man.
The eyesight on those boys. Is
what you and I see, and Jens see most of the time, is that bullet coming to peak, and you see it kind of go in a little bit, but then you lose it in background.
When you might catch the swirl at the end a little bit, maybe.
But you typically lose that last third of distance travel, and you have no idea where that sucker impacted, because like you can see that at the apex and down a little bit, but you don't know whether it's off to the side or what it's doing.
Well,
often
one thing, Maury, one of the spotters, at the end of the day, your impacts make adjustments, right? And down and wait for another adjustment,
right,
or whatever the communication was. And Maury's like, quit dinking around.
Well,
and if you get a hit, just load the next one and send it with the same adjustment, because
within 3 seconds is what he was saying, because you want that same condition, right?
Exactly, because what a lot of guys that first day were doing is they'd shoot, they get a hit, then they'd wait,
right,
and then in 3
and then
5
wait
seconds,
for a condition. That's what they were. You bet.
That was crazy. And then so now today you hear the guys that heard that, and you just hear bang, ding, bang,
right, exactly. And that's the way it should be. Absolutely, because you want that same favorable condition. You don't want to change anything. You want the same hold and send it again. The other thing was that Maury said guys were making a mistake with. They were shooting and not seeing anything, not picking up any splash, and make some sort of correction, but very minute, or shoot the same,
or negligible,
right. Shoot the same hold, and end up with the same.
He's like, that's the definition of insanity,
right?
Yeah.
So what he said was, dust around, go ahead and go like a mil low or something.
You only have
like
13 rounds to shoot 4 targets, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
At varying distances and different targets and everything. But
so
you don't have unlimited ammo like you would in like a 3-gun or whatever.
Or when you're pissing around in my range.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, for you to dust around, that's kind of, you're taking a risk. But at the same time, you need that risk to be able to make.
But if you're shooting out into space,
into the ether,
essentially, if you can't find where it's landing, who gives a shit? Dust one out in front of that target, and then you can at least see whether elevation is working or whether you're making the right wind call.
Look at all the comments.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, we can get right close here. All right, so we got. Let's go back up to the top here. Luke, of course.
Hey, Luke.
What's up, dude? Turn the lights on. It's dark here. Oscar, Nancy.
Hey, Nance.
We got Jesse, friend of the show. Spudman. Hey, buddy. Yeah, it's just, we got shit. Read the description of the fucking post because we got shit service. So
don't get snippy.
Sorry, Spudman.
These people love us, don't you?
That's right. Hard to see anything blurry. Yeah, well, we'll get over it.
We're in a camper trailer.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere, and I'm surprised this is even working.
Yes, we have cow shit all around us, and the cows are here somewhere too. But
Shane watching, Fabian, what's up, dude? KNS Barrel. Despite the visual, the audio is good. Okay, well, it is a podcast, so Oscar, maybe they should stick with this format. Evening, gents. Shay, Steve, Frank. Shane, hey Corey, Dwight, what's the most common caliber there? Okay,
well, you know what?
And that's the most recent comments. Yeah. What's most well?
I don't know. There's a couple 300 Normas. There's a couple 338 tax. Shane's shooting the 300 PRC. You know what? There's quite a few 338 Lapuas.
Yeah.
Making hits like out to 2,000 meters. That 338 Lapua does fine. Beyond that, it tends to run out of gas a little bit. It falls short of like the 338 type tact and even the 338 edge. There was one guy at least I know that was shooting an edge. Okay. He didn't make any hits actually at all.
Okay.
But he's got more gas than the 338 Lapua.
Yeah.
Marginally more, but there is
Snipe
more.
Tack has a full 223 case you can fill in there.
Oh my God.
There's so much room.
Absolutely.
Pack that thing with tight group and let her buck, eh?
Steve's shooting 144 grains of I think it's 50 BMG in that thing with a 300 burger.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So
unreal.
You know what? We haven't been polling guys exactly what they're shooting, but pretty much everybody's running a 338, other than a couple of guys with the 300 Normas and Shane, the lone wolf out there with the 300 PRC. But you know what? That son of a bitch did really well. Well, he ended up in third. So this with factory ammunition, in that EMP rifle, and blown primers in that Hornady factory ammunition. And like I can't remember what
should have saw when he found out he got third after he racked the round out and whatever, and he looks up, he's like, "Oh, I got 3 hits. I got third." Yes.
Yeah,
He's like a kid that
I think he got 4 hits actually.
4? There you go.
So. He was bragging his ass.
Look at me. He was just giving me shit for getting my facts straight. There we go again. Right?
Your FAKT.
Let's say. But we got some. We started the day doing some post shoot interviews.
Yes.
And we'll be putting some of those out. But there were a few guys who didn't quite like that.
Well, you know what? Boo fucking who.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, yeah.
And it's not as though we're here winning big money or anything like that.
No, there's a couple prizes.
Yeah.
Like,
Curtis Customs donated an action for
Right
as a prize.
Right on
scope. Yeah, you betcha.
And Steve did up those participation trophies.
Yeah, that's right.
They look good.
Yeah, they look really good. Laser trophies. Yeah. But it's what, and I get it. Guys are competitive, and they get kind of jacked up a little bit, but to refuse to do an interview or get cranky about to refuse to do an interview, I get
when
it.
They originally said yes. Hey guys, do you mind after we can do this?
Oh, sure.
No problem.
Right.
And then they don't get a
and then fuck off.
And then they're like, get on my face.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
but that's just poopy pants.
Yeah. But we had a few guys that, even though they didn't do too well, they're like, yeah, it was a great experience, and this is what I did wrong. And
there are a few guys that really good post
top-notch individuals out there. And we met some, that was my first time meeting Rob, Maury.
Yeah.
There was a beauty of a guy we're going to have on the show.
Oh, yes. He and his wife.
Oh, Pete, they're just amazing. Absolutely. Salt of the earth people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that'll be a good show when we get people.
Well, you know what? In a couple of different ways, too. Like, good people.
Yeah.
Plus, Pete's former Special Forces.
Yeah.
And dealing with PTSD and lots of exposure. We want to get this exposure to Veterans Affairs and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of bad juju, I guess, surrounding that. And Pete's wife was telling us that it's not all bad. You just got to be able to talk to people. And like we were talking today, that most of the time when guys engage Veterans Affairs, they're at their limit
and
impatient,
to do
and
something.
they need something now, and stuff like that doesn't happen overnight. So they get a bad rap that way. And what was the other thing that Calgary Center for?
Or what?
She was talking about. It's like the Legion, but it's not the Legion.
I took a note. The food bank. The Calgary Veterans Food Bank.
That's it. So we're going to talk about that stuff in a podcast coming up soon here. I hope in the next 3 weeks.
3 weeks, I think.
Something like that. Really interesting
Calgary
stuff.
Veterans Food Bank. That's what it is.
You betcha.
Yeah. So
and I want her to talk about all that stuff. God, she's a knowledgeable lady.
Well, just
and she's been through so much with Pete, right?
We'll cover that on the show. But
I'm kind of excited about it.
Yeah, and everybody here was great. We had a good sit down with Rob and Maury the first day.
Yeah,
kind of going over stuff. We're gonna do another one with them at the end of the shoot tomorrow.
Yeah, and Steve and Shane.
Yeah, Steve and Shane will be there too.
Get their take on everything.
Yeah, and just kind of go through do a recap and put that out. And but no, it's been fun.
It's been really
it wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Especially since today we were done at 10:30, and it's okay, now I guess we can go back to camp. And
that's the other thing. We kind of left that hanging a little bit. The King of 2 Miles rules is that you
have to have the 3 day or the different days.
It's got to be 3 days, and as best I can discern is that you do half the shooters first day, half the shooters the second day, and then the third day is the finals.
All right, let's catch up on the comments.
Okay. Well, fuck me.
What are we doing for time? 23 minutes. We're doing okay.
Let's do the long one down at the bottom there. While you're there.
Well, let's go through the top. So Frank, it's okay. We love you guys. Dwight McGlynn. Yeah, we already covered that. How's the cow tipping going?
Oren, what kind of optics? Man, Oren, there's
everything. A lot of Night Force.
There's some HD5 Leopolds.
Yeah.
There's some. What was there? There was a Swarovski. What the
hell
is that one? That's a nice one. Lots of Night Force.
Yeah, a lot of Night
Force. A couple
Force.
Schmitz, of course.
Yeah. Well, the Swarovski wasn't it was a
Z5,
scope, a spotting scope. Yeah.
No, there was
an rifle optic.
The other thing I noticed today or this weekend too is that it's mostly chassis. So far, I've seen only 2 conventional stocks.
Yeah,
both A5 Macmillans.
They were. Yeah, that's been crazy. But I guess
and one bullpup.
Yeah, there was. What was that?
That was.
It wasn't a Desert Tech. What was it?
No, geez, what's that? What's the guy in the States that developed the 338 Edge?
Fuck, I don't know. Shane will know. He'll put it up
for sure.
Then we kind of
lots of Night Force attackers.
Yeah,
lots of Leopold Mark V.
Rob,
what are Shane? I got 4. I told you. I told you so.
What are most guys using for extra scope elevation adjustment? Anybody using the Night Force Prism? I didn't see it. There was what's that clamp on thing we were talking about today? I don't know. Sorry guys, I'm kind of retarded.
Clamp on what?
To get the
yes, goddamn that prism.
There was a couple of those, but they weren't Night Force. But there's a name for it? Shane will fucking chime in for it. But
I got a terrible memory. Yeah, Sean Carlock is the guy that developed the 338 Edge, and that's that bullpup rifle.
That's right too. Yeah.
Defensive Edge.
Since I can't use my 50, I'm looking for something I can use. Try this out one day. Thanks for asking my question, which I just had. I just seen a post about Ian the other day. Hey, hit them up. Tell Charlie Tarek. That's what it was. Charlie Tarek, that thing. But yeah, Dwight, hit up Shane at emprifles.ca and he'll hook you up with a build. So for long range, do you prefer to shoot from a higher elevation than your target? That's a good question. It depends.
Yeah.
Depends on conditions.
Generally speaking, yes. You know, we talked about this today too, with this being so flat out here and actually spotting splash misses. It's super hard to tell when there's no backdrop on that when there's no flat surface behind that target. You don't know. Like when you see a splash out beyond the target. Now, was that because the bullet's coming in like this at that distance? Because there's, the target's this high off the ground. Did that target, or did that go beyond the target and you see that through the bottom, between the bottom of the target and the ground? So, man, that is really tough to see. And then you try and correct for elevation for that. So when it passes the target, it's here. When it hits the ground, it's probably here. So there could be like a half a mil or a mil difference there. And you don't know at all what you're doing. That flatness sucks ass. If you're from an elevated position, I think that brings that flatness up a little bit. Yeah. Like the perception of it. So you could probably make those corrections a little more effectively that way. If you're elevated high enough.
In terms of ballistics cutting through the air, you're going through a lighter air if you're up on like a mountaintop.
Marginally.
That does make a difference in long range.
For sure it does, for sure. Yeah. And you don't experience as much drop as you do when you're flat, because you're fighting gravity at its strongest when you're perfectly horizontal. When you're shooting from up high, you're already shooting down, so gravity doesn't have as much effect.
True.
So you don't experience as much drop. That's why they tell you, especially bow hunters, when you're shooting from a tree stand, right? You always aim low. Yeah. Lower than what,
that's right.
You read 20 yards, you put your 20-yard pin on the deer's belly kind of thing. Same effect with elevated rifle shooting positions.
Launching a projectile into a target, right? It's no different.
Exactly right.
This one's going a might bit faster.
The one fella there asked what caliber I should use, and you know what? There's because he can't use his 50 anymore. Yeah. Predominantly, and I think that's the limit out here now, is for this event at least, is the 338s because of that energy limit. Yeah. So I don't know. This might sound a little bit biased, but I've heard so much about it, especially these last couple of days, about that 338 snipe tack. Really effective round. Again, the 338 Edge is
you're pushing
pretty damn much good.
Power right out of the muzzle.
The 338 Lapua, I think, runs out of gas a little bit beyond 2,000 yards or 2,000 meters. But the 338 Lapua, Ackley, gets you a little more gas. Yeah,
but the Lapua Magnum, isn't it a 2400? Once it hits that subsonic part, it just
I'm not sure where.
That's what Rob was saying. It just Rob Furlong. He said that once it hits that certain point, it'll just drop. And
it depends on the elevation of the shooting area, right? Your air density and all that kind of stuff, and the bullet that you're using.
Yeah,
right.
Makes a hell of a difference.
Because if it handles transonic well, through that transition through the transonic zone. If it handles that well, you shouldn't have too much to worry about it. It gets wonky through there, but some bullets do better than others. Now the energy carried through there is another story. But I mean, they're only shooting at steel, so as long as you make a bit of a splat on,
and if you're trying to take a deer at 2,400 meters, it's
hats off.
Good luck. Yeah.
So,
but so far it's been good. Met a few new guys that are great.
For sure. I want to talk a little bit about stuff that I'd seen out there with shooters and spotters. yesterday we had more or less a crosswind. I'm going to say probably an 80 to 90% value crosswind, and it was switching up a little bit, and guys were overcorrecting, like they were overcompensating for that wind, which is kind of a what do I say, natural thing to do, because they're a little bit cautious about that wind,
and you got anxiety too, because
absolutely,
first day
there's those expectations, and the thing about a competition like this is that everybody wants you to do well.
Yeah,
there's nobody here that's like, fuck, I hope that guy.
Well, maybe Shane.
I hope that guy shits the bed.
We're joking.
But everybody here wants to see everybody do well.
Yeah, and
it's a good, friendly competition, and there's really no reason to be nervous, except for those personal expectations.
Well, yeah,
that's where guys get hung up.
And it's not like what I thought, like, for a competition that this would be. There's no buzzer.
Mm-hmm.
There's no. It's just, okay, you got your time. It starts now.
Well, 5 minutes setup starts now.
Yeah,
you go through the 5 minutes. All right.
Ready
to go. 9 minutes shooting time starts now.
Now, there is one critique that I do have about the whole shooting.
Right.
As soon as that 13th round's fired, as soon as it's gone, the safety, the RSO, is calling ceasefire, and it's just, no, you can't.
Give that round a chance to hit the steel and that guy to ding that bell, please.
Well, and I can see why they're doing it, because they don't want somebody to rock another round and lose it right away. Yep. But I don't know.
But they're also told only 13 rounds out on, near you to grab.
Oh, okay.
Right. Have 13 rounds set up. You can have others, but only 13 rounds available to you, like, immediately.
Yeah.
So it kind of, but that exchange.
Yeah.
Even though it's your last shot, there should still be some shooter spotter exchange, and the chance for everybody to see that ding if it's going to hit the plate. Now, the other thing I saw today, where we saw a tailwind, and it was almost exactly behind the shooters.
Well, almost.
Yeah, and it was back and forth just a little bit, and guys there is still some effect out there, left to right effect, what we saw today. But they were overcompensating again. Yeah. Everybody was calling for too much wind. And what I saw from a few shooters was dancing back and forth around that target. And instead of, like I said before, dusting around somewhere closer and to see what that wind effect was, like, drop around in front of that target and to see if your line is good.
Mm-hmm.
And then make that elevation correction. Yeah. If your line is good.
Again.
Yeah, exactly. But everybody was calling too much wind. Most everybody, anyways. Yeah. So.
Well, it's been good. They got a great facility there.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It's good.
Kind of high tech in there.
And no cows.
Well,
not this weekend.
I was a little late this morning getting in there. I was right behind you guys when we were going, and I'm pulling in, and I'm probably half mile back from you guys in that grid. Of course, the range is on pasture land,
right?
And so you got to go through a couple Texas gates to get in there. And of course, you're passing cows, but the cows by the time you guys left,
they wanted to join in
big
on fun.
Fucking Holstein just popped out right in front and wouldn't move. I'm like,
where's the party, boys?
Yeah, right at that curve, at that first curve of the action line.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, it was insane. Anyway.
Oh, what do we got here? What magnification spotting scopes are being used by spotters, and what's a common make used? Lots of Leopold scopes out there. I think I saw a couple of Swarovskis. One Zeiss, I believe I saw. Shane. In Canada, we have this bullshit OIC. Yeah. Shane's got 300 PRC, 300 Norma, 33 XC. I didn't see that out there. 338 Snipe Tac, 338 Enabler. Cool. 337 XC, 37 Enabler. All great calibers. What's Oscar saying? Your target is also smaller when the bullet is dropping at an angle. Good point, Oscar. To get full impact surface, the target should probably be 25 to 30 degree angle. Yeah, that's a pretty valid statement. you know, like that effect I was saying from an elevated position, it makes the ground kind of like this. Well, if you had your target laid back like this, I mean, I don't know, how far do you want to go with that?
Well, yeah,
you know, but yeah, you get full target. So if you got a target that's perfectly vertical and the bullet's coming in like this, you might lose, let's say, 15% of that target height. But I have to say that elevation adjustments weren't nearly the biggest problem out here.
A lot of guys had it done pat.
Yeah, elevation typically was fairly spot on.
Guys came prepared. They knew their dope, and
for sure, yeah. And it was the wind that really caused shit.
It's gonna cause shit tomorrow. Hopefully.
For sure.
What else we got there?
What Shane Noah said. I'm not sure what happened before this, but fuck's sake, Scoobs, the Earth is rotating too fast. Yeah, that's global warming. Good morning, guys. Clint DeJarle, good morning. Good to see you awake, Clint. Hope you're not drunk, you dirty bastard.
Yeah.
All right. So tomorrow, finals.
Yeah. We got 6 shooters in the finals, right?
I thought it was 6 teams.
6 teams.
Yeah. Okay. I guess 6 shooters. Sure. Now we've got Shane and Steve shooting. They're the only team that both guys qualified to get into the final. Yeah. So that should be interesting.
And that just speaks to their craft, right?
Absolutely.
So
yeah, you know, they're good shooters. And to use your words, sucking their dicks too hard.
I said that one time, and I will never.
Horse shit, you said it one time. You know, great machinist.
For sure.
You know, to get those rifles to shoot, especially like Shane's rifle with factory ammunition with shit spreads.
Yeah.
Velocity spreads.
Primary shoes.
And he's still making 4 hits way in the hell out there. What was it? So cold bore shot was 1440 meters.
Yeah.
Then it was 1670, I think. 17 something, and then a 19 something. Over 1900 meters.
I think he posted it on his
precision page. He did, but I
don't know.
Whatever. Cold bore tomorrow morning is 2200 meters for cold bore, and that's simply cold bore. I can't remember what
5 million.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's a fair few, and then after that it's 2340, 2470. And anyway, the final is 30. Isn't it 30?
32 something, isn't it?
How many meters in a mile? I think it was 1809. No, I can't remember. But anyway,
yeah.
Well, that
be exciting tomorrow, though.
For sure.
Seeing if the weather is supposed to be shit tomorrow, and it's
coming in, Jens. No.
It's supposed to be raining and cold tomorrow, so
what's that window like out there right now? Yeah, the die down.
No, it's not gone. Down. As soon as we come in here, and
oh my god,
we're getting blasted by the
window. Just howling before
1609.
1609.
There you go.
That's right. So, what is that? Oh my god,
this is great.
3220 is essentially 2 miles.
Only
3,220 meters. 3,218, whatever.
Insane. Anyway,
that's crazy. Yeah.
So watch for the video we're gonna do, and let's answer a few more questions and get.
There you go. Shane's got 2,200, 2,350, 2,650, and 3,170. Okay. Well, whatever. I'll.
What did Luke say? That's it, Sean. Call your gun the lip reamer.
Okay, Luke.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah, let it go. Fabian gets an EM all the way plus Steve's mad skills at smithing. Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, between the three of us, I think we've got, and including John as well.
Yeah.
How many builds do we have from Precision?
I have 1. You have how many?
Jens has 3.
Yeah.
I've had
12.
5 now. I think, including the roosters.
So
yeah, you've got one.
Yeah.
John's got 2, I think, something like that. Got a few more business calls from this shoot for Precision.
Yeah.
So thanks. We should get a commission out of that, shouldn't we?
Well, or at least our sponsorship.
Maybe you should pay them first.
I know I should pay for it again. Anyway,
yeah, right. Big all the time.
Yeah. Well, thanks guys for joining us. Sorry about the potato camera. Short little episode tonight, but we got a busy day tomorrow. So
absolutely.
Yeah. And a long drive.
Yeah.
Well, that's worth it.
That's it.
So
what did it take us to get here? 3 hours, 4 hours?
Took you guys about 4 and took me 7.
Yeah.
6.5.
Well worth it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we get paid the big bucks.
Great to see all that shooting out there and good instruction.
Kind of makes you want to spend $4.50 around.
Well, you know what? If money were no object, absolutely.
Exactly.
If I didn't have little humans to take care of, then I'd spend all sorts of money this way. It's something I'd really love to get into.
For sure.
I think, especially like the work that Jens and I do together all the time.
Yeah.
I think we could I think we could play this game fairly effectively.
Yeah.
Like we talked about the difference between, like, with smaller calibers like the 6.5s and the 6s. The difference is to get from 800 to 1,000 is a world of difference.
For sure.
You can imagine shooting out to 2,000 and then beyond, and then that next 1,000 meters. To me,
it's incomprehensible.
Well, that damn thing is like doing this.
You're lobbing that in.
Exactly.
Kobe.
That's artillery.
Kobe.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. All cool stuff.
That's right.
Really cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good
Short,
talk.
Sweet. Good talk.
Sure.
Yeah. Well,
good to have you guys here. Thanks very much for coming out.
You bet.
Welcome to my trailer.
Yeah. He lives in this year round. By the way.
Yes. Well, it's better than the
his reloading room is right there.
Yeah. That damn refrigerator box is cold, man.
Nice. Cool, guys. Okay, well, we're out. Have a good night. See ya. Well, if I can hit end.